Hi, my name is Katalin and I'm a trance medium, and today I would like to tell you the different types, talk about the different types of trance mediumship. In my video before, I explained it to you how the energies are being manifested through trance mediumship, and since everything is energy, even a desk is energy, because in order to be solid, right, the molecules need to have a certain energetic resonance between them in order to make it solid. I am energy, and I have an energy body, and when I am in trance state, in this meditative altered state, one of the things I teach to my students as a first step is that we need to experience ourselves as energy. So why is this important? Because that's the energy that's most familiar to us. And once we experience ourselves as energy, we will then experience our surrounding as energy way easier and start to connect to other energies. And that energy that's within in the altered state, it often feels like the inner child or the best friend, or some actual just experience it as inner light. And it's usually doesn't necessarily have to be, it sits in the solar plexus, and we know that there is a source within that is connected to other things beside than just the physical appearances in a 3D world, and also knowing that we within ourselves have a much higher intelligence, a different type of intelligence. We just come to this some call it enlightenment, some just call it understanding. And that's one of the first steps I teach. And once you learn that or feel that, you don't have to learn it, you just need to feel it, because we will be always in the state of love and the state of feeling. There is no more thinking, and you will feel who the person is who came into this world, just very perfect, and very like original, unique, and also with oftentimes people start feeling their purpose, but that's a side effect of it, which I would talk about later. They will also be able to feel the energies around them in this state, and feel their fellow spirits, so other human beings who are also just love and light, and also spirits who have passed. And so there it is when we start talking about different type of mediumships, trance mediumships. So we can talk about evidential trance mediumship, where a client would come to me and say, for example, I really would like to talk to my grandmother. Then I would connect from spirit to the grandmother, and describe in normal state, like not altered state, everything is normal, but not altered state, just like I am right now, how the grandmother used to look like, maybe, or what was she like, what was the relationship between them. And after we establish that really is, we are talking about the client's grandmother, I would then blend with the grandmother, as explained it in the video before. Let her step into me, I surrender, I go in a very passive state. I have this intention of bringing in healing messages of healing natures. That's always very important. And the rest is history. I am very passive, and me as a medium, as a tool, as a vessel for the energies, I would manifest those energies. So oftentimes the client would feel, oh my God, I really feel my grandmother's presence. I could even smell things like the way she used to cook, and it can go into the state where the medium's eye color changes, or facial expressions are changing, the mimics for sure, and even the face. And this is when we start going into the paranormal as well. So that's evidential mediumship. Now, we can also do trance healing. It's when I, for example, blend with my spirit guide, and my spirit guide is very capable of manifesting energies that are brings on healing. It's a healing intelligence, healing energies to the client on the physical, so body, on the physical level, on the emotional level, on the psychological level, on the cognitive level, so how the person thinks even or processes data, and also on the spiritual level, in the conscious level, but also in the subconscious realms. And the healing intelligence, I always say, because we are very, very passive in this process, knows what to do. We don't interfere. It is then up to them to work with the person who comes for a healing on all those different levels, and that yet again can become quite emotional for the client, because oftentimes they feel physical energies, even emotional energies, but also spiritual expansion of the mind, the consciousness, that they suddenly understand more things, whatever is needed, right? And this is when we talk about healing. Now, I oftentimes connect to my spirit guide to bring in those healing energies, but not always. Since I become very passive and I let this, the energy realms, the different dimensions are or world, just in different vibrational levels. So dimensions aren't spaces or places, you know. Dimensions are just different vibrational levels and how we experience them. Now, when I am in these different dimensions in trance state and vibrate on different levels in order to be able to connect to those energies that vibrate differently from my vibration, I also oftentimes experience and see with my third eye the client's spirit guide. And then I just blend with that spirit guide, and the spirit guide will bring on the healing and has the same effect. And in that moment, this can also become very evidential, because I didn't know who the client's spirit guide is. And after we talked, it's very often that it turns out that our understanding or what we see is extremely similar, up to the exact same images, and it's just evidence that what I see is also something that the client would usually see. So if she's experienced in trance and works with his own spirit guide. And there is this third kind, is the physical trance mediumship, where I just mentioned that during healing, for example, the energies are changing, that the person can feel how the energies are working on his body, literally on his arms maybe, or neck, if there is a neck pain, and so on. And when we go in a very, very deep state and passive state, and can manifest the energies, as I talked, so we blend with the energies and we radiate them, the spirit can make himself visible, which you don't really need your third eye anymore. It's not an inner knowing. People who are not in altered state at all, or not very spiritual, can actually see with their normal 3D eyes that there is a spirit in the room, or that spirit would talk through voices, or so they hear it, just hearing it, or that they make noises, to communicate with us. So this is also a phenomena that trance physical mediumship can do. I am about to learn that one, so I don't want to go way too deep into it, because I have the feeling that in a couple of weeks I will know about it way more, and maybe I can show you how it's being done. But right now, that's what I feel is the most important aspects when we talk about the different types of trance mediumship.